Hey guys, this is Axeman and we are back in Naval Action doing another history video, this time focusing on the Snow, one of the most popular vessels in game, especially early game. Before we begin, I just wanted to apologise for the audio issues in the last video. Did a bit of troubleshooting and hopefully that is sorted now. Hopefully the audio on this video will be fine. But let's jump into the history. The Snow. Probably my favourite ship in naval action, and the ship I tell all newbies to strive for first. In my opinion, pound for pound, she is the best ship in the game, combining great speed, manoeuvrability and firepower to form a formidable early game vessel. A well-sailed Snow can pick apart ships much larger than herself, especially in PvP, using the range of the 6-pound long cannons to sail out of range of the carronades that most people use. While other ships in game may be more durable than the Snow, the Mercury for example, I find the other attributes of the Snow more than make up for her shortcomings in armour. In game, she requires a crew of 120, has a battle rating of 50, and mounts 26 guns in total, mounting 11 guns aside, with 2 bow chasers and 2 stern chasers. It is the 2 sets of chasers that make the Snow such an incredibly useful vessel early game, and it makes chasing down and capturing traders a lot easier. She can mount 6-pound cannons on her gun and weather deck, or 18-pound carronades on her gun deck, and 12-pound carronades on her weather deck. Her chasers can either be 4-pound cannons or 12-pounder carronades. She has a cargo capacity of 150 and can be crafted at crafting level 13. I could go on for hours about the things I love about the in-game Snow, but I won't, as this is supposed to be a history video about the real vessel and not a love letter to the virtual one. So let's get into it. Oh, and before we continue, you might have noticed that this video is a little shorter than the other history videos I have uploaded. This mirrors the fact that unfortunately the real life Snow had a very short life, so apologies for that, but blame the ship, not me. While in game she is merely referred to as Snow, the ship is actually based on the ill-fated HMS Ontario. And before we continue, let's take a look at why she is called Snow in game. The name stems from the fact that the Snow is in fact classed as what is known as a snow brig. Again, with most ships, the class of vessel is determined by size and sail plan. If I have done my job correctly, you will now be looking at a screenshot of the Snow. I have circled and labelled what is known as the Snow mast. This originates from a larger 3-masted vessel and gradually shrank until it was roughly the size you're looking at now, with ships of this configuration being snow brigs. The Snow mast mounted the gaff, boom and driver sail. On other 2-masted vessels, the gaff, boom and driver would be mounted directly on the mainmast. That's the main difference between a regular brig or a 2-masted ship to a snow brig. But let's get on to the history of the Ontario. Ontario was built in 1780 and launched on the 10th of May in the same year. She was built at the Carleton Island Dockyard, a major British naval base in the area at the time on the St. Lawrence River. This being the river that connects the Great Lakes to the Atlantic Ocean. The Ontario was built to be a large armed transport ferrying troops, supplies and prisoners of war between British stations on the St. Lawrence River and the Great Lakes. She was the largest British warship operating on the Great Lakes at the time. While she was well armed and more than capable of defending herself, she never actually fired her guns in anger at the enemy. This is mainly in part to the fact that she sank a mere 5 months after being launched. She was sailing between Fort Niagara and Oswego, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, any Americans can let me know, on the 31st of October 1780, when a storm kicked up and she sank. 130 people were on board at the time, including British soldiers of the Provincial Marines, Canadian crew members and American prisoners of war. All perished. So a ship that features so prevalently in the game had an extremely short life and never had a chance to make any real impact on the history of the area she sailed at the time. She is, however, distinguished as the oldest shipwreck found in the Great Lakes and the only fully intact British warship found in the area too. Her wreck was found in June 2008 by wreck hunters Jim Kennard and Dan Scoville, more than 500 feet underwater. The location of the wreck has rightfully been kept secret, as she is a war grave and remains property of the British Admiralty. I have included links in the description of footage of the wreck and encourage you to go and have a look. Those of you who have spent time sailing the ship in game will surely recognise the deck hatchway and stern cabin windows. The video is well worth a watch. And so ends our little video of the HMS Ontario. It is a shame that she had such a short life and wasn't able to make more of an indelible mark on history, and who knows what her fate would have been had she not sank in that storm. Again guys, I want to say sorry that this video has been a lot shorter than you might have been expecting, but there really isn't a lot to the HMS Ontario. She only sailed for 5 months, so she didn't have a chance to build up the illustrious history that, say, the HMS Pickle had, and the length of the video reflects that. But if you did like this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one.